Hey everybody. So let's talk about demons. Is there such a concept in Judaism? Yes, there is. A demon in Judaism is called shadim, plural shade in the singular, and it does appear in the Gemara, and that's why I'm talking about this today, because in one of this week's episodes of Daf Yomi, the page of the day of Talmud, this comes up. So just a few ground rules about shadim. One is that they don't necessarily have free choice. Just like malachim, angels are creations by God to do good, positive spiritual forces in the world, so too there are negative spiritual forces, and that's the job of the shadim. The Gemara will talk about, Jewish tradition talks about that they're found in ruins, in places of destruction and such. Perhaps the idea is associated with germs. Whatever the case may be, however, we don't necessarily have angels appearing to people today like they did in biblical times. So too, there's many that are under the notion that shadim also don't apply today. But still, we came across a Gemara that I want to share with you because I think there still is some good lessons to get from it, even though we might not necessarily be running across too many shadim in our daily encounters. And so it says that a person shouldn't drink water at night. And if he did drink water at night, damo barosho, his blood is on his head. You're taking responsibility for anything negative that happens. Why? Mipnei hasakana, because it's dangerous to drink water at night. Okay. But then the Gemara says, what's the danger? Oh, the danger is that there is a particular shade called shavrire that apparently is in that water at night. Bear with me over here, because now you're probably wondering, so what do you do if you're thirsty at night? Oh, the Gemara says that. And if he's thirsty at night, what's his remedy? Well, if there's another person with him, he should wake that person up and say to him, I'm thirsty for water. Why? Apparently, Jewish tradition says that shadim only attack people when they're alone. When they're with somebody else, they kind of back off. They don't like to be with people when they're in a crowd or even with one other person. But then the obvious question that shows up in the Gemara says, well, what if you don't have anybody with you to accompany you to drink some water to keep the shade at bay? So he should rattle the lid of the water pitcher on the pitcher and say to himself, talking to himself, but pretending like someone's there. We're going to fool the shade over here. So-and-so, the son of so-and-so, your mother has said, beware of, and then the name of this shade. He should mention, beware of shavrire, brire, rire, yure, ray. Like what he does is, he keeps saying, beware of this particular this negative angel, this shade, and he keeps diminishing the name letter by letter by letter by letter. That got me thinking. I think there's two ideas that we can get from this Gemara. You see, everyone has their demons. Yes, I'm getting a little bit figurative over here, but everyone has their demons. Everyone has their negative forces. Everyone has their yetzer hara. How do you deal with it? I think this Gemara tells us two important lessons on how to deal with it. One is you got to get a partner. You got to get somebody to help you. And we know that when you have any issues that you're struggling with, it's always much easier to have someone help you get through it. You don't like exercising? Go hire somebody. Go get a personal trainer. That will help you. So if you can't do it yourself, get someone else. Number two, what's this idea of diminishing the letter by letter of this demon? It's teaching that when it comes to your demons, you can't do the whole thing in one go. You got to chip away at it a little bit at a time, one step at a time, until boom, it's gone, disappears, it's out of your life. There's a guy, slow and steady. There's a guy, I know, I wouldn't have done this, but he posted on Facebook 2 pictures of himself without his shirt side by side. The before and after. That he had a belly, wasn't in such great shape, and now he's buff and he looks really good. And he mentioned there, slow and steady. That's how it works. That's how we deal with our demons. That's how we deal with our yetzer hara, with our evil inclination. You can't go cold turkey. You can't go all at once and get rid of it. Slow and steady, diminish its power letter by letter by letter, till it's out of your life. That's perhaps what the Gemara is telling us on how we should deal with our personal demons. Have a good Shabbat.